Today, people all over the world are remembering those whose lives were brought to a tragic end 8 years ago. On September 11, 2001, 19 terrorists hijacked 4 commercial passenger jet airliners, crashing 2 of them into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York, a third plane into the Pentagon in Virginia, and the 4th plane crashed in an open field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, after a group of passengers reportedly tried to regain control of the plane. How do you think the 9/11 attacks have changed America?
I think it tightened down on our security quite a bit.
If you were a passenger on any of those flights, what would you have done?
I would have done the same as the rest of them. I would have died.
If you could say anything to the family and friends of those who lost their lives, what would it be?
I'm sorry there are bad people in the world that do terrible things.
Didn't believe it. Very sad, very emotional.
How do you think the attacks have changed America?
Changed America? I'm not sure, because I've never been here before, but I imagine that it's made security a lot tougher at the airports and that. We just experienced that coming here today. And the mentality of locals, I guess, in America, they would find it very difficult to deal with the emotion of what happened.
Today, there are a number of memorial services taking place remembering the victims of those accidents. If you could say anything to the families and the friends of those who lost their lives, what would it be?
Just that I really feel your pain of your loss, and that life will go on.
We're aware of how our conduct as a nation impacts other nations and how those other nations react to our conduct in terms of foreign policy. And I think it's made us more patriotic about our own country and about our own safety. The nations react to our conduct in terms of foreign policy, and I think it's made us more patriotic about our own country and about our own safety.
What was that experience like for you on that day, the moment you heard about it?
Incredulous, unbelievable, a feeling that life was not going to be the same for Americans anymore because of what had happened.
If you could say anything to the families and friends of those who lost their lives, what would it be?
Just a deep, deep sorrow, sharing of a national loss as well as a personal one, and that we, along with all other Americans, will never, ever forget.
So how do you think the September 11th attacks have changed America?
It's changed America a lot. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people have moved, I think, away from New York to San Francisco or to other parts of the world. It seems like it. A lot of people from New York are here. And it's also changed San Francisco a lot to where they have more, what do you call it?
Unity.
Protection.
Yeah.
Security, more security, yeah.
Better?
Yes, better.
What was that experience like for you that day that you heard about it?
Oh, I walked out of my room that day and I thought it was a movie. And it shocked me.
Yeah, it showed the
It
plane
shocked me.
Looked like it was
I
flying
just so
into a hangar.
happened, I mean, they must have showed it over and over maybe, but maybe it was the time that they did it. I don't know when, I didn't look at the time, but it shocked me that it happened, and I'm surprised that the Senate did not even know about,
Yeah,
you
'cause
know.
our security is real tight, and
Should have been aware.
Americans' view on how serious we should take about being careful, I believe, and basically in the United States. So,
If you were a passenger on any of those flights, what would you have done?
oh, I wouldn't know. I mean, no one would expect the attack, really, and if I was a passenger on there, I mean, I would try to get everyone to safety, but it would be hard because the plane was hijacked, I believe, and after that, it just suddenly crashed. There's no control over the plane.
If you could say anything to the families of those who lost their lives, what would you say?
I would tell them I'm very sorry for the loss. I mean, I can understand how they feel. I've lost a few people from plane accidents, and hopefully that as long as they keep their memories inside them, I'm sure they can be strong and move on, and that the family would be very proud of them, watching over them.
Glad that people are aware of 9/11, and but just everybody dying, probably thousands of people die every day over in Afghanistan and Iraq and all over in the wars all over the place, and nobody pays attention anyway. Yeah, thank you.
I think it's changed in a lot of ways. People are more looking over their shoulders. I think the government could do more about protection. I think some of their criteria doesn't quite make any sense, but I do agree with the airport security, because anyone, they proved it, anyone could get in anytime. So
What was that experience like for you the day that you heard about the
the
attack?
day I heard about it, I was laying in bed ready to go to work. I always watch the news in the morning, and the first plane that hit, I thought it was an accident, like most people did. 15 minutes later, the second one hit, and I knew it was war, and it really shook me up. Everybody was in a daze. I went to get coffee that morning. Everybody in the coffee shop was like, it was just really weird.
Many people say that New York and San Francisco are similar because of its tall buildings, just like the one right behind me. The 9/11 terrorist attacks will always be remembered as one of the most shocking moments in American history. And the victims of those attacks will never be forgotten. Thanks for watching this episode of Street Talk. Please post your comments at youtube.com/JadeOP. I'm Teresa Willis.